Penguin Random House author. I've also coached over 500 writers. What many of you may not know about me is that I'm also a language nerd. Today I'm going to take a break from the book writing topics I usually cover and instead talk about 5 words that even writers get wrong. For as long as I can remember, I have been fascinated by language. When I was 17 years old, I spent a year as an exchange student in Germany. And when I came home, I was a little bit unbearable. I kept correcting all of my family members' grammar. I would say to them, I had to learn to speak a foreign language. The least you can do is speak your own language correctly. This did not go over so well. I learned my lesson. I no longer correct anyone else's grammar out loud. Instead, I silently look down on them. Not really. This video is actually supposed to be fun. I'm not really a language snob. You know, I intentionally make some grammatical mistakes because I don't want to be saying things like, may I? Or to whom would this apply? Mostly, I just like learning, and languages are one of my favorite topics to geek out on. Plus, if you happen to be a writer, speaking correctly is probably not a bad thing, right? So let's get into this. Bad word choice number 1, idyllic. I hear this all the time. I had an idyllic childhood. I think, does this person really know what they're saying? Having an idyllic childhood means that you grew up in a forest. So this is one guy who could say that he had an idyllic childhood. Just to help cement this in your brain, here are some idyllic scenes because they take place in a forest. This is also called pastoral art. Pastoral and idyllic are pretty much synonyms. What's with all the naked people? I really don't know. I only took one art history class in college. If you happen to know why there are all these naked people at picnics, please let me know in the comments. So, remember this, idyllic is not the same thing as ideal. This is an idyllic image because it shows people out in nature. Then again, maybe a day spent out in the country with 3 naked cherubs is an ideal day for you. Somehow, the old man holding the skulls kind of ruins the vibe for me. Bad word choice number 2, trite. Don't be trite. I hear this phrase a lot. And it usually means that the person is using the word trite in the wrong way. A lot of people think that trite means trifling, insignificant. They'll say, don't be trite, as if this were the same thing as don't be petty. What does trite actually mean? It actually means cliche. It's that movie trope that has been done to death. You know that the serial killer is on the loose. And the best possible course of action is to go downstairs and check out that noise you heard. That is going to be a trite movie scene. We've seen it 1,000 times before. Or take a look at this novel. Why do I suspect it's going to have a trite plot line? Wonder how that book ends. It's fine to tell someone, don't be trite. Just remember that you're telling them to be a little more original. Bad word choice number 3, media. Recently, I watched a very smart YouTube video about the changing face of the media landscape. It was so interesting, but I couldn't help but cringe every time the host used the word mediums. The mediums of film and television, he kept saying, which is incorrect. What should he have been saying? The media of film and television. Does that sound weird? Well, just do what most people do and say film and television media. Remember, you should never say film and television mediums unless you are talking about these people. So, why is media the plural form of medium? Well, it comes from Latin. Even when we started using the word medium in English, we kept the Latin plural. It's the same logic as the word phenomenon. Phenomenon is singular, phenomena is plural. We don't say phenomenons. You don't, right? So can you ever use the word mediums? Sure. as long as you're not talking about film and television and the internet and magazines and other media. You might say in line at McDonald's, "I'd like some fries." Actually, make it 2 mediums. If you really want to nerd out on this, remember that media is plural. So instead of saying the media is reporting on the economy, what you actually want to say is the media are reporting on the economy. Before doing that, though, I would weigh out the benefits of speaking correctly with the benefits of having friends. Your choice. Bad word choice number 4. I feel badly. I know I'm going to get hate mail for this one, but here goes. This is the bad word choice I see most often. So let's see if you know the correct answer. I feel bad or I feel badly. The correct answer, I feel bad. Yes, I know a lot of you are not liking my answer here. I see so many smart people thinking they are being extra smart by saying, I feel badly. Every time I hear someone say, I feel badly, I can almost hear the superiority in their voice. They are not one of those pedestrian speakers who would dare to place an adjective after a verb. Everyone knows that verbs are modified by adverbs. After all, you would never say, I run bad. You would say, I run badly. So why would you say, I feel bad? Feel is a verb and therefore it requires an adverb. Or does it? The answer is this. Yes, feel is a verb, but it is a special kind of verb. Feel is a linking verb, and linking verbs aren't modified by adjectives, not by adverbs. When you have an emotional reaction to something, you're actually using the linking form of the verb, feel. You need an adjective in that case, not an adverb. If you say, I feel badly, what you're actually saying is that your nerve endings have been damaged and you're unable to sense if you're actually touching something. Feel does work as a regular verb when you're talking about the sense of touch. When you're talking about your emotions, however, feel is a linking verb. I feel bad is the correct way to express this sentiment. So, the next time you think to yourself, oh, those idiots out there who don't know the difference between an adjective and an adverb, now think to yourself, who feels badly now? I mean, who feels bad? You're gonna get that right from now on, right? Bad word choice number 5, her and I. In most instances, when starting out a sentence, you should use the phrase she and I. Let me give you some examples. She and I are going to hear Mozart at the Philharmonic. She and I are going to talk to our neurobiology professor. However, when referring to a location such as NASCAR, Monster Truck Rally, or the County Fair Rodeo, her and I is definitely preferred. I'll just leave that topic there. I hope you enjoyed my not-so-serious take on 5 words that even writers get wrong. Be sure to check out one of my books, The Memoir Engineering System, or my memoir, Avoiding Prison and Other Noble Vacation Goals. Want more information on what actually makes writing good? Watch this video next.